Heidi ho everybody. I'm trying to be better about making videos on things when they pop into my head or I'm talking with the staff or other people and I'm like, that's a topic that needs to be talked on. And then I'm always like, oh, I'll make a professional looking something later. And then I never do. So I'm trying to get better about that. So I was just having a conversation with basically I should just call this like Crafty Housewife Yarns staff gossip. So I was just talking with the ladies, and we're all stay-at-home moms or caretakers in one capacity or another. So it's a topic we all get on kind of like work from home mom guilt or caretaker guilt or just whatever. And I feel like so many people now work from home. So when you say you work from home, like that could mean so many different things. So, I mean, it used to be, and I sold Mary Kay for years, like, love Mary Kay. Learned so much from Mary Kay. I have so many friends that sell different makeups or Tupperwares or Pampered Chef or nail strip things, which I love. So I no shade on that. But I feel like there's kind of three categories of work at home now. You have like I'm a consultant for, we'll say, Color Street. I am not, but I like their product a lot, clearly. So there's either I'm a consultant or director in like a bigger company like that. Then there's I feel like growing population of I have a real people job, but thanks to COVID or whatever, like I'm now working remotely from home. So then I think you would call that like a half-time / full-time remote work from home job. And then there's the third category, which is what I am at this point in my life and what I'm very happy to continue to be, which is the crazy entrepreneur. I built this wacky thing that was my dream and I work from home because I don't want the overhead of a store or a shop or whatever. Or maybe you do have your own, but I feel like for me anyway, I'm always getting people that are like, oh, is that your dream to have your own yarn shop? And like, yes, of course, part of my heart that I used to work in fine art galleries. So like the part of me that used to be a fine art gallery director, like would love to have my own space. And I don't know, maybe one day I'll have kind of like a studio somewhere where I can have everything set up and I could work there and like people could come in maybe for lessons or something. It would be more of a film studio. But anyhow, I have no desire to have like a brick and mortar yarn shop. I have lots of things. It's literally, I've taken over the whole house. My husband now having to have a remote work office in our guest room downstairs because CHY and My Local Wool has taken over the whole upstairs. So, I mean, it's a legit serious thing. So those are kind of the three categories I see of like working at home, and they're all cool and they're all great and have their, own rewards and whatever. But what we were talking about was when I'm filming this is like the last month of school. And my girls, when I'm filming this, are in 1st and 2nd grade. And so they are having awards days and field days and room mom days and all the days. And I don't know, my parents, who I adore and are fabulous parents, I don't remember them ever coming like back in the 80s and 90s to any of that. I mean, I think my parents I remember we had a couple maybe like career days. Like I remember my parents coming for like, they had to talk about what they did for work or like, I don't know, something more on topic, but I don't ever remember anybody's mom coming to field day. But apparently this day and age, and I don't mean, this is like literally all my friends, so I don't mean to be shady, but everybody is constantly going to their kids' school. Sorry. So what I was trying to say was there are all these expectations for you to be at your kid's school, being like room mom or just hanging out, it seems. And what we were talking about was there just seems to be so much pressure that because I'm not like an executive in an office somewhere, that like it's hard to just be like, oh, well, I have to work. Like I'm not going to be there because like I'm working. And yes, there is definitely flexibility that is wonderful from working at home or running your own business. And if I was somebody that like that was a dream of mine to like go be the room mom, which for so many of my friends it really is. So I'm not trying to sound sarcastic because I know for so many people that if you are the one that you always were like stuck working somewhere with totally inflexible hours and you have little children, like your dream could be to be the mom to go do that. That was not my dream. I love my kids, and as y'all know, you see all my pictures, I do all sorts of stuff with my kids all the time. We are at sports and after school stuff and Dollywood and tumbling classes and cheerleading. Like I'm constantly doing stuff with my kids. So when my kids are at school, I do not feel compelled to need to go do that. And I just feel like that's something that if you're this weird third group of work at home people, it's hard to explain to others. So I guess the whole point of this video is just to be like, if you fall into that group or you are aspiring to be in that group, I feel you. And this is a problem that you may run into where you get this weird work, I call it like the work from home mom guilt of like, oh, well, you're just selling Tupperware. Why can't you just be down there at the school all the time? And it makes me feel selfish to have to be like, well, guys, I kind of value being able to go to work out or go to yoga when I need to go to yoga so that I can be a healthy, happy person for my children when they get home or my husband or anybody else that I encounter. Or I need to be able to work and be creative and run a business that we have like people that work for me now. Like I need to be able to be accountable to do those things. And I can't just randomly at the drop of a hat go and do all of these things. And I feel like nobody understands because they just don't see what it is that you're doing. So I don't know. I just wanted to throw out my 2 cents since that's what we were just talking about. Is I guess my message to myself here is you have to be able to be okay with maybe coming off as being, I don't know, bitchy or selfish or whatever, of just having to be like, hey, I'm a person too. I get to, prioritize what it is that I'm going to spend my time doing. And that's okay. And I don't know, Ashley Martineau and I, so, sorry if I'm like letting the cat out of the bag here early. We have also been talking about, because she is doing kind of a rebirth of her fiber arts business. We are talking about doing kind of maybe a series. We're not really sure exactly how it's going to come out, so I can't tell you because I don't know. But on working from home in a craft business, but I guess in that third entrepreneurial craft business category. So this was also something that I felt like fit into that, and I know that I have videos on that topic on this channel as well. And y'all always seem to like behind the scenes stuff. So anyhow, if that's something you might be interested in knowing more, if you're like just starting out doing something, even if it's not necessary, like maybe you knit for fun, but like, you have a woodworking business or, some sort of other, and it doesn't have to be like an artsy craftsy business, but just something that's like a legit, maybe you're like a graphic designer, but a business that is an entrepreneurial venture, or even if it's like a nonprofit, like a charity that you're running from your house, but like a real thing that you are trying to birth forth into this world that is not following a script from like Mary Kay. And I'm just using Mary Kay because I know Mary Kay. Because you're not having to creatively, like if you're just following, a business plan from another business, I'm not hating on that, but you're not having to creatively come up with the sales, the collections, the timing, the orders, the supplies. You're not staff. You're not having to come up with all of that because the company sends it to you and it's like, hey, here's the new catalog of the new stuff. Get online and promote. You're not having to come up with that. So, same thing if you work for a law office, but now you're working remotely from home. You're doing what they told you to do and it's still your work and you're being assigned it at home. It's a totally different ball game if you're having to bring it forth from your own creation into the world. It's a whole new ball game. And I don't know. I feel like we need a better way to be able to tell people that, I need to not be at every little everything because that's not where I'm at right now. So anyhow, let me know what you think. And like I said, hopefully Ashley and I will have some fun videos coming up in the future because I know I love it's fun because we have two fiber arts businesses that like run side by side, but we're very different as far as what we make and what we sell and even how we sell. Like she's much more into events, just like Heidi, much more into events, whereas I'm like the hide in my house and talk to my camera person. So, you know, I'm excited. So let me know what you're up to and if you have a similar experience and I will talk to you soon.